Hello, hello, and welcome to a very special episode of MacYak number 150 for December 23rd, 2021. How the heck are you guys? Oh my goodness, we have a full house tonight.
I'm good,
festive. Festive.
Yeah,
I'm jolly tonight.
I like all these wardrobe changes during the intro.
Bruce, I didn't know you'd look so good in sequins.
My
You
goodness.
think, Joe?
You just keep adding more people on here.
It was lopsided. It was driving me nuts.
Well, now that I'm here, I may as well say it, Bruce. You look like a biker's wife right now.
It says I'm not.
Oh. Bruce is very merry. We'll just say that.
I am that.
I
am that.
My goodness, we have a few special guests with us today. So let's introduce. I think his name is. Wait, hold on. There's either a K or a C, but he's crazy, and he's about 10,000 miles under the ground in this underground lair. I think he escaped once in a while, but then he got imprisoned. So I think his name is Ken. Oh yeah, there he is, right here. Yeah.
Right. You'll have to ask the captioners. Sometimes they spell crazy with the C. Sometimes they spell crazy with the K.
Oh.
And one thing I am going to say I am bummed about is I spent a lot of time working on my background today, and I'm just cropped into a little square. So
no.
Enjoy this white wall.
We can do this. We can do this.
Oh, hey!
Yeah.
I got my plutonium rods and everything. That's what powers the screen.
Your Macs are just chilling on cool.
He's just chilling on the couch. You know,
they're monitoring him. Yeah,
literally. That's cool.
Right.
All these features in the streaming thing are so cool. I remember the humble days of FaceTime, but this is way better.
Of course. Yeah, you're not floating. Ooh. You're in a fixed position at least for the time being. Hey, look at that. We can see all the crap
that's
that
cool
everyone
too.
has
Now I
in
can
the
see
background.
Steve's awesome lights as well. That's really
There's
cool.
Christmas lights on the G5s because they're just sitting there collecting dust. All right. We also have another guest who is joining us today. And this guy, I don't know what his problem is, but he seems to want to just overclock and shove upgrades and things that shouldn't be ever upgraded. And then he just curses everything meanwhile. So I don't know.
Yeah, Bruce, why do you do that?
Yeah, Bruce, come on. So we have the lovely Sean of Action Retro of cursed Macintosh SE30 fame. And he's wearing a very festive hat with some very handsome buttons.
I'll say, look at him sucking up with your buttons there.
I wore this hat, but I wasn't quite sure about it. But then I found these Mac buttons in the garbage, and they fit real well. So I stuck them on.
You had to recycle them, right?
Yeah.
It's called upcycling.
There's a magnet in his head, and the metal of the pin just keeps that hat secured to him. We'll just go with that.
That's it.
And then someone who is all the way from Canada land, our good friend, I think his name is Dan, but we just call him S because that's the sound of 3 C's in a row. Or
3 S's.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It depends on what country you're in. Anyway, it's Dan, the Canadian computer collector. How you doing, Dan?
I am well, and I am only here briefly, folks, so don't worry if you're thinking there are too many heads on the screen. I'm here to talk about fire logs.
Mike didn't think there were enough.
Fire safety.
There it is. Yeah.
Boy, is there a lot of delay on that video.
No, it's good. We're good. We're all good. We're all good.
So we have practiced for hours, and we will not be talking over each other whatsoever.
We're trying.
Sure hope so.
Bruce just keeps stepping on those ducks, but
Jay is full of something that I can't mention on stream.
Oh yeah,
pasta. Anyway,
It requires X-Lax.
what
Dan,
doesn't these days?
Dan, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
How are those videos going?
I'd say I want to say medium, but I think it's a little bit less than medium.
That would be medium rare.
No, it's going well. You know what? The goal of that was to get my watch time up and do something kind of funky for the Christmas season, and I think it's kind of achieving that goal. One of the things I had is on the road to monetization, I had a lot less watch time than you would hope for versus the amount of subs I was getting. So, I'd say as far as that metric's concerned, it's going well. It's not like they're all over the world killing the game right now. But
do you make cameos in them?
So for the 1 hour videos that I've put out, these are just like an Apple machine, like a low end machine playing the Fire video for 1 hour. But on Christmas Day, there will be a live stream where you will see my gut and my light breasts, clothed, of course.
So we're getting more of the PG-13 area.
As I'm swapping the machines out. Like I said, I will be wearing, clothing, but the machine
sound like it.
swapped out. So like when the man comes in to jostle the logs, classically, I will be switching machines out instead.
You'll be shaking
Shaming
the
up on
hard drives.
OnlyFans.com.
And you know what? I was looking at some of the footage today too. At one point, I bent over and my shirt pulled up a little bit, so there might be a little skin. You
A
know,
little risque.
Yeah, I saw the pink thong in one of them.
well,
Ooh, super chat.
Oh, we got questions
guys gotta
already.
do what a guy's
Thank you for the
angel.
super chat. We have a question here about what's the story with Bruce's cameo in the iMac G4 video. We'll let Sean answer that, but basically Bruce wouldn't shut up and just kept.
No,
bribing
there's
Sean.
actually a really good story behind it because I was making that video and I was like, you know what would be funny if Bruce was in here upside down. So I asked Bruce if he'd be in it. He said, yeah, and I put him in it.
That story just makes too much sense.
I mean,
to
that's
Bruce's.
the long version.
Bruce just kept sending you messages. Sean, can I be in your video?
Why is he suddenly
Can I be in
British?
your video?
Shut up.
He's talking.
Oh boy! And then Ken has a second half of this question: whose hands were those in the iBook G3 prototype video?
So I can't answer the question because whose is spelled incorrectly. So no, they were okay. So someone commented on my episode. I think it was Angel. He was saying it was Sean's, but I was like, I don't think so. Unless I'm just really oblivious. They were.
Thank you,
Brutus.
Patrick.
They were
Hey,
Brutus.
thanks, Patrick.
Thank you very much, Patrick.
Thank you,
Merry
Patrick.
Christmas to you too, dude.
And thank you,
Yay.
Angel, as
That's
well.
generous. That's
See,
really
the lights are working. That's what all.
Yeah, it's the banner. Yeah.
Don't worry, one of these G5s will be on fire by the end of the stream, so we'll be.
Well, let's see if I can help you out here, Ken.
No.
No, don't.
Let's recreate the.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you, disembodied hands.
Hey, that's my shtick.
What are you doing?
It's Sean. That's who he is.
Remember last week when I put that face on my hand? I used a damn permanent marker. It took days to get.
Sean's going to have to trademark that, you know?
That's probably why Angel thought it was you.
Yes, exactly. Any hands are just assumed Sean's hands.
Yep.
You better have a good lawyer. But for
Yeah,
anyone,
I keep a good lawyer on hand.
His hands are in
moving
shape.
right along.
I gotta hand it to you.
Well, before we move along, quick question for Dan: how many more log streams are coming? How
There
many
you
max
go.
do you have left to
yeah.
do?
Well, the last one's coming out tomorrow, and then on Christmas Day we have a 12-hour live stream. So
12 hours.
for everyone, out
Well, you
there-
know, who needs to spend time with their family and loved ones when you can look at a log on YouTube?
you know, what,
Well, it'll be Boxing Day here. I'll just be sitting around watching the cricket, so I can definitely jump on.
I think the live stream needs to have like the Apple IIe and the iMac and whatever else you're using, all doing Firelog video at the same time.
at the same time would be terrifying. Actually, you know what I should say? At the end of the 2E monitor video, it started to really smell like low end burning, like some kind of something was
detecting a bit of reefa.
yeah, exactly.
A mild reefa.
Oh, now we got Patrick going to watch, Dan here because now he's going to steal
committing
all
to
our super
12
chats.
hours nonstop.
You are a hero. Patrick, you're the hero we don't deserve.
Well, I, for one, am going to be going to every one of my devices that can go on YouTube and just going to watch the heck out of those streams until it burns into my plasma television. How about
Well,
that?
I appreciate that, Steve. I encourage everyone else to do that. If you like to celebrate Christmas, it's a great way to do it. And if that's not your bag, there's always grain alcohol and just talking about things you don't care for. So enjoy your Christmas.
Sounds very Canadian.
Well, thank you very much, Dan. Everyone subscribe to the Canadian Computer Collector. That's our friend Dan in the
Thank you so
lower
much.
left corner there. And thank you very much for tuning in. And keep those Macs on fire. That's the only way to spread Christmas cheer.
That's right.
Well, thanks
see
for
you later,
tuning in.
Dan.
Everyone, thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
Dan.
Cheerio.
And that's the end of our show. Thank you
Hey,
very
it's
much.
like the Brady Bunch now.
Yeah, right.
I'm Alice again. Damn it.
What does that make?
Oh,
I
God.
think that makes me Cindy. I think.
Yeah, you're the,
Was the boys over on the left or right? I can't remember.
This is devolving quickly.
either.
Anyway,
Well, this is what happens when you have a couple of old people on.
yes,
They
thanks.
start talking about pre-1980 stuff.
Back in my day, the television was black and white. So we have Ken of Crazy Ken and Sean of Action Retro. Please check out their YouTube channels and their social media stuff. If you have not done so already, their links and details will be in the video description. And everyone, we're just going to try and do a show here with some topics. Stop moving everyone around.
like we're playing a game of memory. Or
Exactly. It's messing me out. We're going to forget who's who. And that's a long video to play that mutes us all. So let's not do that too often.
The other one has notes down.
That's my favorite one.
All right, so the first topic, an actual topic now of our show tonight, is going to be how much we rely on our personal technology, our old technology, our cloud services and such. And if, all these things shut down tomorrow, what would we do? And this is sort of a loaded question. I'm not going to go out of the gate here because I'll just talk for hours about floppy disks and whatever the heck. But yeah. Who wants to get this ball rolling and talk about how they hoard floppy disks and books to read or something? I don't know. Ken, go. Okay. You don't understand the question, so go.
Yes, I don't understand the question, so I'm going to ask a question. What are you talking about?
Exactly. So
I need some details, Regis.
It's written here in 3 bullets in the show notes, and I didn't put it in here, but I'm assuming the gist of it is that if the stuff that we rely on today, like iCloud, Facebook, Google services, stuff like that, the internet, if stuff like that went away,
gotcha.
What would you do with your daily routine? How would you get your information? How would you communicate? I mean, chisels and rocks.
My biggest concern would be, since I make all of my income from the internet, I would be homeless, and that would probably be a concern. Let's say that aside, what would I do? Oh boy, that's a tough question, and maybe that's a scary.
You'd make sock puppets.
I'm not going back to that again, Steve. I showed you my collection when you were in private. That would be tough. That would be really hard for me, man. I don't know if I could really do that, especially with my my entire business being online. Yeah, that would be apocalyptic for me. Happy answer. Merry Christmas.
We're all screwed. Merry Christmas. All right, so in order to maintain some rational order in this, I'm going to call on Sean next.
Well, much like Ken, I make 100% of my income online. So probably I would just stare at the blank computer screen until it came back on, or until I just keeled over, whichever came first.
That's a good answer. I'm going to steal that.
I think Sean would just think his computer was cursed is all.
I like that one.
My wife would be knocking at the doors. We're out of food. What are you doing?
I'm busy.
It's going to come on any minute, I swear.
Just hold your horses.
He would be wondering if you plug something in and then that's when everything happened. He'd just unplug it and just wait for a while. That's what I would do. I feel like
I'd be quickly building a generator.
Yes, out of spare capacitors.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right, so how about Grudy? You basically don't have power on internet half the time anyway.
So what was the question again?
It's in the show notes.
The notes are in front of you. Let's not be coy here.
You really think Rudy opens the notes?
Nice screensaver, Ken.
Yeah, great screensaver.
Waiting for it to hit the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you lost internet and social media and junk like that, what would you do with your life essentially?
Dude, do you know where I live?
Exactly. Go on.
Exactly. I do that all the time.
All right, perfect. Dana, you're next.
But no, I'd probably lose my mind because I basically live off of social media.
You'd probably stack a lot more towers than the ones behind you.
Yeah, like the G5 quad right there is stacked 8 feet in the air right now, and just kind of teetering.
Yeah, let's hope no earthquakes happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God.
Next.
All right, Dana, you go. You don't do anything, but you'll be okay.
So as far as like entertaining myself at home, I have a lot of DVDs. I would probably just watch those, or go outside.
But if
and
you
at
have
work,
no power,
if there's no power or no
I'm not
internet.
talking about power. When did this become an apocalyptic thing?
I thought we mentioned something about power.
Well, it says
too.
personal
Well,
tech.
that's because you lose.
I think
power
that
all the
includes
time.
DVD players.
Yeah, exactly.
Up, Grudy.
So
Grudy
there's
fell
no-
over.
Gray area.
There's no internet or there's no power.
I didn't write this
No
one.
power, no
Chime
internet.
in.
Can I please go next? Because I think I've got an idea of what the question actually means.
Go for it.
Go.
Okay, so the question
Unless
is,
somebody
how
does.
much do we rely on our personal tech and stuff like that? So I'm actually going to answer it in the perspective of some of the things that I use in terms of things like iPad, iPhone, I'm using things like notes and calendar and stuff like that, and how reliant I am on these sorts of technologies for day to day, rather than just what would happen if the power went out.
No,
And so-
no. That, you're making the host look stupid. Don't do that.
If the power went out, I'd fire up the generator. Is that the question?
No.
No, I mean, there are certain things that I use in terms of personal tech. I mean, things like my iPad. I do most of my browsing, web browsing on an iPad. So things, I have become sort of very reliant on that as a piece of technology. And then, of course, that's one that a few years ago didn't have one. It's one of those things where you didn't have it, and then once you have it, you suddenly apparently can't live without it. And then when it comes to things like, even something as simple as Apple's Notes software, which I think is just a really, really basic little piece of software, but you have that running on your iPhone, your iPad, your computer, whatever, you can share it with other people, all synchronized, make a change, everyone else sees the change. I've found that to be one of the most incredibly useful little tools there is. So I've now since become incredibly reliant on that. I do all my shopping lists on it and stuff like that. And same with things like synchronized calendars and all that sort of stuff. So having things synchronized, between devices, for me, that's become a really, really important part of sort of today's technology. So I am very dependent on those sorts of things. Is that the answer okay?
You're again
phenomenal.
doing correct things, which is not the way this show is supposed to be.
Sorry about that.
So,
Yeah.
if anybody feels so inquired to actually answer the question, inclined, yet words hard, bad. Stephen is crashing. So next, go Jay.
Steve wasn't monetized until he was.
Until I will.
Our personal. I'm not going to list every piece of tech I own, but like Bruce, what I use in my day to day. It would be a major inconvenience, but I don't really rely on it. I rely on some of it for entertainment. Like I got Plex and Netflix and all that stuff on the Apple TV, social media and all that stuff. But as far as money is concerned, yes, I do. I have my ticketing system online, but if that goes away, I have a local FileMaker Pro server that can do all the same stuff. Customers would not be able to reach me through Facebook Messenger and stuff like that, but I'm in the local, what do you call them? Local papers and stuff, so they could still get a hold of me. So it would be very inconvenient. Actually, the thought of all social media disappearing tomorrow makes me a little bit excited. That would be really awesome.
But nobody would know our YouTube goes out.
Aw. But yeah, it would suck for a few days, and then I would start gardening or start messing around the garage. Actually, spend some time with my family once in a while. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. So
I mean, we didn't really have social media 20 years ago, and we survived. But still,
You could write a letter. You never had a pen pal?
Well, yeah, but it's not social media.
Not until you Xerox it, mail
You
it
were
to
about,
people.
what, 6 years old 20 years ago?
No, I was 10 years old 20 years ago.
Close enough.
Close enough.
All right, Greg, put an end to this horror.
Well, I think I would probably be the one that's most prepared because I am an actual amateur radio operator. So we do actually train for when this stuff goes out, like internet, cloud services, email, stuff like that. So all of those services that you just mentioned, we could do all over ham radio because we do that today as a backup system.
So if you
we
want
do
to
phone
spam,
calls
if you want to
over
spam
the-
a bunch of followers, you just start yelling.
What's that?
If you want to like spam a bunch of people on Twitter or Instagram, instead of that on the ham radio, you just hold down the button and just keep going.
Yeah, you can do that, but it's kind of highly illegal. But you know,
So GT,
But-
if I need a file off my Dropbox, can I get a hold of you and you can get it over
One
ham radio?
zero one zero
Just
zero
with
one zero.
Morse code.
Download
ones and
something off
zeros?
Macintosh Garden.
you sit there and you sit there. You're joking about it, but yes, we send files over the radio waves like that. I've done slow scan TV, which is basically sending still pictures over radio. I've actually sent files over, and we do email, which is called Windmail, and it's a program
Remember that.
and Jay's going to hate this. It's made for Windows. That's why they call it Windmail. But it goes over, ham radio, and we use that to basically talk to each other like that. It is slow.
1
It
0
is not fast.
0 1 1. Oh no, sorry, that last one should have been a 0 1 0.
Well, no, it's not. It's not voice. It is data. It is data bursts, but it's not as fast as you would think. On this, I used to do packet radio all the time, and packet radio basically is AX25 protocol, which is basically the internet TCP/IP protocol, pretty much.
So how long
Sorry
would it
to
take to
interrupt
download
you,
the new
GT.
Matrix movie?
It would take probably years.
Hey, GT, about a year ago, maybe longer, you mentioned that you were going to do videos about this stuff.
Yeah,
Now, I did
I've
not
been
know
slacking
that you
in
could
that
send
area. I
this
haven't-
kind of data
I didn't
over radio. So I'd be interested to see that, actually.
Yeah, I need to do
I
some
would
more.
too.
I got one video on my channel right now for APRS, which is Amateur Position Reporting System. So you can actually look at that one, and it shows how to use that on a Mac. I've been trying to do all my videos using Macs, but believe it or not, there's not a lot of amateur radio Mac software versus Windows software. So when I was doing ham radio way back, 20 years ago, I was Windows only at the time. And now that I've become Mac only, it's a little bit more difficult to find all that stuff. But, for me, yes, I would miss all this stuff on the internet, but I can get around it by using my amateur radio.
Man
We've
likes
all,
his
we've all got
radio.
our ham radio faces on.
I mean, you game with a boot camp partition. Why can't you just use the software?
Where
off
have
that?
you been? He doesn't do that anymore.
I don't do that anymore.
Anyway, moving
How
on.
do you game now?
I have
Stop.
a PC
Hoarding.
down for that.
There you go. You have a PC.
I don't use that for nothing but gaming.
Oh boy. Anyway, this is not PC Yak. Let's move on to a topic that I can maybe read correctly. So, our next topic is, why do we still use older operating systems for our retro computers? Now, my snarky answer would be, well, that's all that's available for them.
Well, Steve, can I add?
But
Oh,
yes.
go ahead.
But
No, I was going to say the reason why this topic came up was because of something that was mentioned on one of the groups on Facebook.
yes, and you like to really poke people with sticks.
I remember this post now.
So
yeah.
essentially, somebody who was not as enthusiastic about old machines and old technology as this lovely bunch is,
And yet was still a member of the group.
yet was still
Yeah,
a
I don't
member
understand
of a
that
vintage
either.
group,
Yeah.
was very perplexed as to why we would still rely on older operating systems and software for our retro computers. Besides the fact that, well, that's what they were designed to run and that's what they run best on, blah 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 blah. But yeah, I mean, I guess in some situations you could shoehorn, a newer OS and an older machine, Sean, and do all sorts of crazy stuff like that. But I mean, for me personally, it's just fun playing around with the old hardware. There's a lot of nostalgic feelings of old software running on the system, or connecting to a certain accessory that I want to use, a scanner or printer or something like that. And it's just having fun with the machine. I wouldn't do any serious work on it. There's nothing that I would trust on one of these old systems. Just as far as a business thing where I'd need to have it be reliable. But it's all about just wasting time tinkering around with something like people play with cars or toys or video games or stuff like that. It's a hobby type thing. So I think if someone is so perplexed as to why do you use that old thing and they're sort of missing the point. But that's just my 2 cents.
Well,
So-
I think using, for example, which we'll touch on later, the PowerPC challenge is kind of on purpose creating the scenario we were just talking about. You don't have most of your social media. You don't have pretty much any of the stuff you typically rely on. And I enjoy the hell out of it. It's a break from the constant notifications and plings and plongs and distractions. So that's the fun part for me.
If we're
Don't look
talking
at me.
about
I'm over
basic
here trying to install Debian on my Thai book. So
Bad influence.
If you're talking about sort of like functionality of operating systems and how they're each getting better with every new iteration that comes out, I mean, I would argue that most things they sorted out a really long time ago, and everything that you get added on these days is just a little bit of fancy window dressing. And I wouldn't really go ahead and say that if you are going to take a few steps back in operating systems, that you're going to be massively without anything. Okay, yes, I accept that maybe some of the browsers don't work on them as well anymore and stuff like that. I accept that. But for a lot of the general operating system functionality, there hasn't really been any massive innovation in the last few years. And then the other thing you have to keep in mind is that if you were someone that grew up with a particular operating system and you used it for certain years of your life. I mean, for me, whether it be the first computer I had at home or the first computers I was using at work, there's an incredible amount of nostalgia associated with that. And so, I mean, of course you fire them up and you sort of reminisce and have a bit of fun with something that you played with, that you used to use a lot in the past. So, I mean, it's sort of, I don't know what that person was doing on a vintage forum anyway.
Yeah.
Anyone?
That's the whole perplexing thing about this. If you're not into this stuff, why are you on the group? Is it to sell things? Is it to what's your purpose here? What are you exactly trying to do?
Can someone remind me of the context? What exactly did this person say?
Greg knows everything intimately.
Yeah, actually, I remembered incorrectly. It actually was a comment on one of our videos. It was the tech talk video that Bruce we cut out. About the operating system.
Oh,
stuff.
that's right. Yes, about installing OS 9 on a G4 that wasn't meant to have it, or something like that. Or a dual boot. That's right. It was a dual boot OS 9, OS 10 on a mirror drive door. Yep.
Yeah, and someone said, I don't see why the purpose of running these operating systems on these old systems, why even bother, or something like that. And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
I was like, have you ever tried to shoehorn, Big Sur onto a Power Mac G5? It doesn't work.
Yeah, but I mean, there is I guess a huge sort of vintage community going on that some people just may not understand. See, someone could well have come across that video being a Mac person and thinking, okay, Mac Yak, they're going to be talking about the latest Mac stuff and everything, and then to have us talk about stuff that old, they might, they just may not even be aware of, that the incredible resurgence that's going on at the moment and pushing prices through the roof.
That too.
Oh boy.
I'm using High Sierra now.
So I'm gonna go around the horn here just to get some more answers out of people. So Ken, what do you think about all this shenanigans?
To me, it's just a hobby. I mean, I don't really use, like my TAM to cut, 4K ProRes 422 LT video on. It would not be able to decode it.
That would be a heck of a video, though.
I mean, I did do I did do the Premiere episode where I used Adobe Premiere 1.0 on a 68K Mac. I took black magic footage and like encoded it into Road Pizza so it would play on there. And it was actually okay if you're, chill with, 160 by 120 video. But no, it would not be good for anything I do professionally. But for fun, hell yeah. I love the nostalgia of like old GUIs. Anytime I boot up like an old Aqua Mac OS 10 thing, I just love the old like liquidy look of everything. I kind of do miss that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the things with these old machines. If you're
Dang it, Joe.
Oh, Joe. I wouldn't be surprised if you had that set up some way.
Yeah, I
Even if
know
you're
he's
just
not, because the
feeding-
2 in Apple II should be those slashes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're on to you, Mister.
Or like the reverse square brackets.
But anyway, what I was saying is, if you respect the boundaries of the vintage machines, Sean, you can get reasonable performance out of them without worrying about things being slow or just not behaving the way one would expect a machine of that age to run. And without further ado, let's have Sean talk about why he's shoving Debian on his poor power.
Why can't you let go, Sean?
I'm all over the place on this topic because on one hand, I really like booting up machines with the original operating systems because it's like a piece of living history. You open it up and turn it on and you're kind of back in that time. Use all the software from that period. I like what Jay said where it's like no distractions. So I was even using my 12-inch PowerBook G4 to write my scripts, which are just Word documents printed out and taped to an iPad. But it was a nice, easy writing experience.
Your
You don't have to
iPad
do
is
anything
going,
crazy
"Wait a
to
minute."
write text.
Wait a minute. You tape it to your iPad?
Again, something that you would have known months
Yeah,
ago, Grudy,
yeah.
if you were paying attention.
But still.
Yeah, I just print out a whole bunch of pages and bulleted list, tape them together, and tape them to my iPad that controls my camera.
The iPad sit there going, what am I, chopped liver?
12-inch PowerBook G4 does that quite nicely. But on the other hand, it's also fun to push the machines as far as they can go and just see, just what you can get out of them. I mean, it's pretty cool
That's
using a 20-year-old machine and getting it to go online and
Exactly.
view web pages and just see every ounce of performance, CPU 100%. What can you get out of it?
Yeah,
I think
that's
right
what-
before
This is
we
not
went
Sean's
live,
face.
I got an email from Patreon that you just uploaded a video, Sean. And I didn't watch it yet, but I read the description that you're putting Linux, a previously tricky to install version of Linux on a PowerPC. Is it?
Yeah, so there's a Linux distribution that I love called Adderley Linux. It's a very small distribution, but they recently released live DVD ISOs that you can boot up your vintage PowerPC Macs from the DVD and try out Linux without installing it. So previously, a lot of these distros, you have to install it to do anything. The CDs just boot into the installer. But this one, I booted my iMac G4 into modern KDE Plasma 5 without having to do anything, without breaking my current installation. And then my video is about how to, the installer is a little janky, so I figured out how to get around it.
That's cool.
If it's still on fire, Joe, you're not using it well enough. Just gotta-
Exactly. It has to be right teetering on the edge.
It's
Yeah,
like
Sean.
Dan's computer. It has to
Turn into
smell
plasma.
just right.
Yeah, you have to smell it. If it smells,
But
then
Sean-
you're pushing it
Yeah.
enough.
That's exactly what my PowerPC series is all about, is trying to do really, really, really weird things with my PowerPCs and try to get them to run modern crap.
Yep, I love that
Lead on
series.
Yeah.
Jay, do you want to say anything about this subject further?
I thought I already did.
All right, who is rubbing their face against the floor? There's some weird noise going around.
That's a weird noise.
It
Mike,
was.
stop it. They can
Mike
hear
is muted. It's not him. All right, that's a bit silly, but what the heck do you expect at MacYack? So yeah, I mean, I think this whole topic, all the answers that we gave just prove that there's a lot of cool things that you can still do with these machines. Otherwise, we wouldn't be hoarding all this crap in our house or our basement and driving our significant others absolutely insane. Because
Hey, what do you call a hoard?
I only have 5 of the same thing. They're fine.
Nothing to see here.
The other day, the other day, Steve was sending little messages to the chat, and they were like, "Oh, I found another eMac. Oh, I found another eMac. Oh, it's another eMac."
They're surprisingly hard to hide, and then you find one. You go, how the hell did that get there?
You didn't know he had any.
No, yeah, I knew I had at least a few, but sorry, Ken. Go on.
Like the first time I made the trip over.
Your name isn't Ken Grudy.
No, it
Sorry.
just let him go. It's all good. I'll just hold his logo on my face
But
as he talks.
the first time I was getting ready to make the trip over to Ken's. Thank you there, Ken. I realized I had a bunch of G5s I had no clue I had. It's like, how do you hide G5 towers?
You put them
I didn't
below
know
you and
I
put
had
Christmas lights on them. That's how you hide them.
You bury them in a pile of Mac Pros.
I never thought I'd have a collection so big that I didn't realize I had Macs in it that I didn't know about, especially ones that big.
It's been like that for a few years. Don't worry, buddy. We'll get through this together. Just keep coming over and dumping crap at our place.
Not my
Well, that's why Grudy has to take trips all over the place to collect all the stuff he collects.
No, we're not
Yes,
talking about
exactly.
him traveling. That's just going to open up a can of worms. Ken, rescue us, please.
Well, okay. Well, I was actually just gonna randomly say this has like nothing to do with this. I just saw it in the chat. Corbin said he likes how everyone except for me is wearing glasses, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. Wait, I can't read. What does he say?
Full disclosure,
It's-
Kenny, you're wearing contacts.
I am wearing contacts
Yes.
though. They're just tiny
Yeah.
glasses on my eyes.
Ken, is that you?
I
Steve,
can't tell who's who anymore, but I'm not wearing glasses.
Yeah, I can do the same thing, but
We all
no,
have
but-
horrible vision problems from staring at these damn computers.
That's part of
Having
it.
a
Yeah.
blurry
Greg.
CRTs.
I gotta say, I'm sorry for you coming to my lair and breaking everything you drive. The crazy Ken curse apparently applies to cars. So
Yes.
Oh, it's not your fault. Trust me.
It is
How many-
poor decision making entirely.
I only broke down 3 times going home.
No,
Oh,
we're
is
not
that
talking about this.
That's
I will
not
boot you from this call.
only three.
I'm going to throw this amazing concept to you, Grudy. You know, when I go on a long journey, I hop into the car, I drive there, and get to the other end. It just keeps happening over and over again.
It's funny
Well,
how
your
it
cars
works
aren't
for most
cool enough.
people.
You gotta buy a big cheap truck.
And Bruce, if you go a very
It was
long
a cheap
distance,
truck too.
if you go a very long distance, do you maybe have an oil change or have the car checked out a little bit before you go?
Well, it's interesting you say that. I actually get my car regularly serviced. It's freaky to do.
Bruce,
Believe it or not, I do too.
let me ask you this.
Yeah, but we know what kind of garage you bring it to.
By a human being, Rudy, not by a pack of wild wolves. All right, there's a
Bruce,
difference.
let me ask you this.
Sounds
Do
cool.
you drive your car a long ways if your dashboard looks like New York City on New Year's Eve?
Oh, of course I do. Yeah.
Interestingly,
Just
no.
mute
no.
him. We're answering questions that don't pretend.
There we go. Now he can't speak. This was coming, Rudy. This is 5 years in the making.
This is
You
the
gotta-
intervention that we all were hoping for.
That's why all the guests are here.
So, Ken, quick question.
Yeah.
How long did it take with pressure washers and all that stuff to get the oil stains out of your driveway?
The 5 gallons of oil.
Well, the cool thing is it's not my driveway. It is the homeowner association's driveways. So I get to decide. I don't remember there being a significant leak, but I do remember when one of the so he had to leave. For those who don't know the story, he had to fly back home because his truck was getting serviced here. So he got to leave all of his cool computers in the lair for like an extra month, and I got to play with them. But
Why
then,
are they all missing pieces now?
yeah, I don't know. But when the service place delivered the truck back, they parked in like 2 parking spaces, and I'm just like, I just hope my neighbors don't hate me because I can't move it now. But thankfully they didn't hate me, or so I thought.
So there were a few comments going by. One question was about how many storage lockers I have. None. My wife wishes I had plenty, but I don't.
It's
Have-
You
a
just need to buy one of
gigantic
those shipping
basement.
containers.
Yeah, I have a basement and a garage, and there's not a lick of space in either. So that's that question.
Don't you even have some in the ceiling?
No, we're not going to talk about the attic. That's
Okay. Oh,
yeah. There are these little grooves in the unfinished part of the basement. I guess I could shove. In fact, there's a duodox right up there. They fit perfectly.
Oh,
in
nice.
that groove.
Nice one.
I want one of those.
Steve
Yes.
spends days just trying to figure out how to Tetris his basement.
That is my life, Tetrising basement. So if
we
all
know
social
he's
media
about to
went
record
away,
a video.
if all
Whenever
social
Steve's
media
about
went
to
away,
record a
just be
video, we
Tetris.
get all these comments about him tidying things up.
tidying things,
Yeah.
just shifting crap from one side to the other.
Yeah.
Let's be
And
honest.
then he's all
relocation is
done.
all it
And
is.
tomorrow he's like, "Oh, I need that dual dock."
It's all the way
all
up.
coming down. Yeah.
I don't want to have to grab it. So, all right. So we've meandered long enough, but I hear that Ken has been throwing his hat into the publishing ring, and there's this crazy idea of
Who's
putting images and text into some sort of format that you don't need power to look at. What is this madness? Can you please explain this to us?
I think it's called a buick. So anyway, yes, I recently launched my first photo book on my first Etsy store, and I'm really excited about it. It is called the Notchbook. It is literally a photo book of notches in like Apple products and stuff. So Jay would really like this, I think. But yes, apparently there were notches in Apple designs for a long ass time, and I don't want to like give away all the cool, sexy photos that are in here. But like, if you look at the iPads and like the iPod Nanos and stuff, there's notches in Apple stuff everywhere. So we're just kind of surprised that it's on like a MacBook Pro now, but it's like, it's been around for a while. So anyway, I did give Steve a special link and a code that if anybody wants to get this tonight on my Etsy store, it's 20% off for all MacYack viewers tonight only. You can go ahead and grab it. And I am autographing them. You can get them autographed. It's a nice hardcover with a matte finish. None of this gloss. It's beautiful matte finish. And there's also there's a secret code in here that you can scan, and it gives you a bunch of digital bonus stuff. I can't show it on the stream for obvious reasons, but it's in here. I think it's on page 3. Yep, there's a secret code you can scan. There's a bunch
why
is it
is it sticky?
You watch. He's going to put it on. He's going to put it on camera now.
He's got. Don't spoil the code. Don't do it. Oh my gosh.
Where the code?
Kid, why is it all sticky?
Oh, neat.
Glue. Yeah. So here's the cool thing. This literally just happened during MacYack. Jonathan Zufi, the guy that made the iconic book, he bought one.
Oh, cool.
I saw his name. I don't know if he wants me like saying this, but we're gonna whatever. But like he bought one, so I'm like, oh shit, this is so cool. He was one of my inspirations. The iconic book was an inspiration to do this. So yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm happy with how it turned out, and I hope you guys like it too.
cool.
And if it does well, I'd love to do like a much thicker, beefier coffee table book in the future. So,
not to give anything away, but that
tell you
book
what.
is amazing. And Ken and I had a few conversations about interesting products that could sort of be considered a notch. And so if it does well, I'm sure you'll see some more of that lovely photography that Ken is known for.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
personalization's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mhm.
Yeah, got it. Get it.
Yeah.
You Wait, what about the other part?
Why is it upside down?
That
You're
part?
holding it upside down.
That's
He hasn't read a book in a while.
Okay, we're demonetized now.
that reference will make more sense on December 30th when Greg and I's new collab episode drops.
Yeah.
There was a really funny moment in it. That's
I reckon Steve, you should bring out a picture book called My Basement. Big picture book. Let's do it. You just go around and take a lot of high-res photos from all
Very
around the
artsy
paper.
from different angles.
It can be a
It
chapter
looked
on
like
the
a
bunny.
collage.
Yep.
Here's some.
Cash in, dude, because
I
you
would
can have a new
easily
photo
pay
book every year.
$15 for an autographed copy of that.
It'll be a calendar. Every page is full of
Calendar
crap.
sounds
So
fun.
so when you are bringing in vintage crap to your house and your significant other is like, why do you keep bringing all this garbage? You can be like, well, honey, look at this guy. I mean, I am nothing compared to the guy that's all this crap is in this house.
Yeah, he sets the worst case scenario standard.
I'm sorry, honey. I love you. All right. So thank you very much for sharing the link in the video description. We'll put it there as well, but it's in the comment section. If you are interested in Ken's book, check out his Etsy store there and be sure to follow him on Twitter. The link and stuff will be in the video description so you could follow all of that goodness and see all of the notches that you never knew existed.
so many notches, and there's probably more.
It's like a Where's Waldo of notches.
It kind of is.
everywhere.
There's a miscellaneous section at the end that just has a couple like non-Apple notch things, like and in your car, the sun thing. It's like a notch. There's notches everywhere.
Well, you can put notches anywhere with much determination and a hammer.
Yeah, they just only fairly recently decided to become idiots and put them on the front, where you actually need to see what you're doing.
Not this conversation again. All right, so I think it was because it's sort of towards the end of the year. We only have a number of days left before 2021 is over. It's always fun for me to look back and just think about the things that occurred or notable things that happened. So the next few topics are going to be revolved around events of like the best of this year or the worst of this year, etc. But before we begin, there's a very special little video that we like to run here about engagement on the YouTubes. So someone, can you push that video button? And Mike's asleep, so someone has to do it for him.
Smash that like button.
Hey, there it is.
There we go. That will come up.
Should have done it live.
For a second,
Smash
I
that
was like,
like button.
Oh boy. All right. So anyway, we're gonna move right along there. Please like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. All that good stuff. But the topic that we're going to be talking about next is your best finds or purchases of Apple gear this year. So stick to one or two, but think about the stuff that you found this year. You could say how much you got it for, was a good deal, or it was just something that was incredibly uncommon that you just had to have.
Okay.
So Dana looks like he's so excited that he's going to forget what he's going to say. So go first.
Mine is the Apple TV 4K.
Oh,
I love that.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
I daily lament the fact that I can't block YouTube videos because they are the bane of my existence. But everything
YouTube
else,
ads?
I love like the way you can add apps and for all of your services, and then not to mention Apple's own content. And it's really easy to browse. I've charged my remote one time since I've had it. I've had it for like 5 months.
Mine is still not.
I didn't even realize. I'm like, of course this thing runs on battery, because then it was like, your remote is at 9% battery. You need to charge.
Oh yeah, it lasts forever.
But it was after like 2 months of having the thing, and I still haven't had to charge it again. So, but
our remote got lost in the couch for a good few months, and it was still good.
I'm surprised. The buttons are very easy to press, like if it's between cushions or something. So.
Oh yeah, you moved your ass, and you're like, oh, why does the video pause?
Okay, so I have the opposite issue going on right now. My buttons suddenly got crunchy. I don't know why, but they're like
That's 'cause
hard
you
to
let
press.
Greg go.
Did you dip it in sugar water?
I don't know what I
Different
did.
content.
Do I do that in my sleep? I just dip things in sugar. Well, that explains a lot.
That's how the iMac got all clear.
You fell asleep and you drooled on it.
Yeah, I probably did. I have fallen asleep a few times watching like Animaniacs or something. I wake up and I'm like, "What's the plot?"
I'll just put on Steve's 8-hour live stream and
Yeah,
Don't
I like
worry.
that thing so
Don't
much.
worry.
I'm going to buy a second one for my bedroom, I think.
yeah, they're really neat.
Yeah,
I like the new remote. That's less you trying to rewind and all of a sudden you're in like a different app. You used to have on the old one.
I still
turn off the touch sensitive.
Yep,
like when
me
you
too.
scroll. I turned it off because it's like you pick the thing up and your finger brushes across it, and suddenly you're 5 minutes further into the video you're watching.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't do the touch still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotten a bit better, but
It's
all
better.
right.
Yeah.
All right, Bruce, you're one that also likes to hoard crap. What did you get this year that you're happy about?
It's 2021, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Still.
Still for the next few days.
Still.
I honestly
We'll
have
come back
no
to it.
idea whether these things happened this year or last year. I managed to get. I got a. It could have been last year, but I got a Mac 2 that had the high density floppy drive upgrade.
Oh, that's right.
And that was just because I had one of them. So the first Mac that I bought with my own money was a Mac 2. And I bought it, I think it was in 1992, I think. And then later on, a few years later, I bought the upgrade for it. So it's like you get like 2 ROM chips and a Swim chip, I think, and the floppy drive, of course. And so I upgraded that. Now that computer is long gone, but of course, in the interest of nostalgia, I really wanted to get a Mac 2 again to have it in my collection. So I've been hunting around, and then Mac 2s then started falling out of the sky for some reason. And so now I have 3 of them, but one of them just happened to have that upgrade in it. And that was just like, it was just such a fantastic moment to get that. And then, of course, I also got the original CRT monitor for it, so that I can now actually set up the exact sort of configuration that I had back in the 90s. So that was probably the big win. Assuming, of course, it was this year. That could have happened last year.
Time is
Before we
weird.
move on, Bruce, can you lean back a little so I can see your shirt? Because I keep thinking, why do you look like a priest? But there has to be more to it.
That's his mic.
It's Pong.
No, it's a pin. It's a pin.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
It is a wee Macintosh.
I
so
dropped my-
cute. So cute.
It's a wee server pin.
MacYak is number 1. Yay! That's
All
my
I have is a
contribution.
battery to hold up to the screen.
Space tacos.
Oh God! All right. Anyway,
I need something to hold up. I'm not holding up Greg's logo again. Oh, I did.
Yeah, he's had enough. He's had enough.
You don't have a button for Mac 84?
No, I
he
do.
does.
It's on my special.
my
thing.
button-
in the
like
trash where it belongs. I get it right there.
It's on my special location for stuff I don't want to show off.
Speaking of product placement, Sean, you're showing off a lovely logo. So let's hear about. I know you pick up a lot of cool stuff, but do you have an idea of 1 or 2 things that you were really happy to get this year?
1 or 2. That's real short.
You have to narrow it down.
1 or 200, Sean.
Okay, well I'll do 2, and I have examples here to show you. First one is this laptop right here. Now, looking at this laptop, what do you think that this might be? And
A sandwich.
3400 or a Kanga.
I was gonna say it looks like a Kanga.
Yep. So I got a PowerBook G3 Kanga, which is a machine that I've lusted after since time immemorial. And it's fully working. It's loaded with software and has Duke Nukem 3D on there, a whole bunch of emulators. Very excited about it.
Excellent.
So that,
I'm going
that
to load
translates into
Linux on it.
Oh my God.
Don't
All right,
interrupt the
somebody
adults,
ban
Rudy.
Sean.
So that's the first thing, a machine that I've always wanted. The second one's actually right back here. I got this Duo. I've always wanted a Duo and a Duo dock. When I moved into this new house, somebody messaged me saying, "Hey, I've got this thing I'd like to donate to your channel." And it turns out he's like in this new neighborhood. So I didn't move into the house yet. I told him my address. He dropped it off my front porch, came home, and there was just this thing sitting on my front porch.
No, honey, it's included with the
God.
house. We have to accept it. You can't.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
He's just following you, and he's got like
Honey, we have to move again.
Yeah, exactly what Ken said. Yeah, you
That's
have
a very thoughtful gift.
a very good stalker situation going on. there.
Yeah. I'll take more of those, please.
I'm just gonna say, if anyone wants to donate a Duo and a Duo dock to me, I'll gladly take it.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
Well, that would be
I
passive for you.
can't complain. I get
When-
lots and lots of donations, but yeah, I would love to get a Duo dock.
Cause like when I was young and stupid, and I was going away to college, and I had to get rid of things to fit in a dorm, I got rid of my Duo dock and my Duo, and I felt really
Mistakes were made.
yes, they were made. I took
And we'll never let him forget.
Yep.
We've all been there.
So, Grudy, moving on to you.
Well, I
All right, Greg, moving on to you.
anything that I really got from Apple, I mean, other than my new MacBook Pro, which I
It
use
doesn't
to
have to,
stream
you know,
YouTube.
It could be an older thing. It doesn't have to be brand new. There you go.
Hey.
Yeah.
That was only $6.
I need to do the video on that.
Can you explain what that is to people who are not as geeky as we are?
This is a revision A to D first generation iMac
For a tray
upgrade
loader.
card. Yeah, for a tray loader, which also integrates built-in FireWire. The only thing that I'm not really a huge fan of, because this is a G3 500, so it also upgrades the speed a lot. but it uses the newer G3, which isn't G4 swappable. Colin, Mister, and I were talking about doing a swap, but you can't do it with that one.
Well, so
But
you're going
still,
to
it's
just
a
shove
neat
that.
card.
You can just shove that in Ken's prototype. Maybe it'll start working.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
All right, the other Greg.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I got two different items I got this year. One of them I got earlier. I found a CMP 4,1 with a 30-inch cinema display. I paid $300 for it. It's a dual CPU. Upgraded CPU, so now it's matching this CMP perfectly. So basically, it's a backup CMP. So if this one has an issue, then I just basically swap my drives over, my video card, and boom, I'm back up and running. The second thing, and I'm going to probably be using it for the Power PC Challenge, is my MDD I just acquired for, what did I pay for? $40. And that thing is nice. It came with 2 hard drives. I've got 3 operating systems on it right now. I have Sorbet, Tiger, and OS 9 lives. So that is a real nice machine. It was real clean, not really a scratch on it.
Real
One
clean.
of the best ones I've seen
recall
in a while.
you blowing 5 gallons of dust out of it.
Well, yeah, it had a lot of dust in it, but that was to be expected. And it had a lot of tape on one side of it. Like someone put about 10,000 notes that they taped with Scotch tape to the side of the thing.
Those were important notes. You shouldn't have removed them.
No, it was just the tape was left. The notes were gone. So it took me about an hour to pull all the tape off. But yeah, I think those are my 2 best finds of the year, I would say.
All right, cool. So
Hey, can I just interject really
Yes,
quick?
please.
Ken, I just added your book to my cart, and it said there are 16 people adding it to their cart, and there's only 10 available, or something like that.
Oh, shit. Guess I gotta order more.
Put some ink in that printer. Come on.
It should still let you add it to the cart though, because it's when you purchase it, it actually takes the quantity down. So purchase quickly. That goes for everybody.
I already got mine.
Yeah, I saw yours come through. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thanks to Grudy again.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so Jay, before I go and take up a half hour of everyone's time, what?
I don't remember most of the stuff I bought this year.
You bought something that rhymes with IP drive and Irewire.
Well, I was going to say the first one is a 7-port Firewire 800 hub. I love it so much that I bought 4 more, and they're now everywhere. And they're almost fully loaded. All over.
Someone has a slight problem.
Slight. And the second one is not really hardware; it's a service. I got the Apple's Fitness Plus subscription, which has been really, really awesome.
Oh, nice.
So,
and Dave is just outperforming all of us. Jay's just like, I'm just waiting for my Flower Power and Dalmatian iMac G3.
I'm really jealous of that Dalmatian. That's
Dalmatian
awesome.
is cool. Yeah.
Wait, who got a Dalmatian?
Dave.
Oh,
bastard.
So I was very lucky to go to VCF East this year. I know Mike picked up a lot of stuff, and maybe when he wakes up, he'll tell us all about it. But he did a video about VCF East on his YouTube channel, Mike's Mac Shack. So if you want to check that out, he lists a lot of cool things that he found. Now, I have a little list here because I'm actually working on a little top 10 video. I thought it would be an easy one to get out this year. And so I'm going to pick something that's not on the list. And this was at VCF East. There was someone who I met, and they were going to bring some goodies along with me. And they said, I have a Power Mac Dash 8100. It needs some work, blah, blah, blah. It might be power supply. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, well, donate to the channel. That's great. And then I purchased a G3 mini tower from him. So he made the trip with some goodies. And I did not expect it, but it was in the box. So he had the original box for the 8100 in very good shape. And the machine itself is in very good shape as well. The styrofoam, the packing, everything's in there. And then you can see the G3 tower behind it. So those were 2 things that I was very happy to pick up. I already have a G3 mini tower, but since that was a machine that I use personally, it's missing a lot of bezels and things like that. So I always kept my eye out for another one of those machines because they are pretty much my favorite, G3 desktop form factor. I love the blue and white, but I love the expandability and the onboard SCSI of the mini tower. So I guess that will have to be my pickups for this year. I think that was pretty cool. And we have a comment here. Best finds a 20-inch G4 iMac and G4 Cube. Nice. That's even if you're missing those accessories, you never know. You might be able to find them pretty well. So excellent. All right. Any other additions to that before we move on to our next topic?
I actually just got reminded of the fact that I got a couple of MDDs this year as well. Ooh, and I sort of, I hadn't really thought much of the MDDs. And then once I had them here and up and running and was using them, I got a newfound fondness of them. So, I can definitely appreciate why so many people like those machines.
That's the only G4 I don't have.
And I have 3. That's how it works.
You and your Mac 2s and your MDDs, you just jerk.
I'm sorry, Ken. What were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to go next.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. We cut you off because you just have so many cool things in the background. We just assumed.
Oh, right. Sure. Well,
it's not the host having a brain fart. No, of course not.
I will say, never happen here.
No. I will say, though, this year, and this relates to Steve as well. I would say the best thing was that iMac G3 prototype. I mean, that was a really good find. I stumbled upon it totally by accident while I was doing research for the iMac Evolution episode, and then that came up, and I noticed it was all shiny looking, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute!" And that's a prototype. It doesn't have the frosted colors and stuff. So
show off.
Well, and then Steve and I are, we worked on it, and for those who've seen the episode, know what kind of state it's in right now. But we're not going to give up.
Steve broke it.
You gotta remember, though, most people that find prototypes, because Mike found his by accident.
Yeah, that was
the G5 prototype.
I sort of did too.
Found his kind of by accident.
That was cool. I got to play with
and
that.
Watching him do that live when he opened it.
Yeah, he was having puppies.
It's a prototype.
I thought it was a cool moment. That was a cool moment.
Mike found that wooden Newton prototype by man.
Well, yeah, it's like a handout thing, and then he accidentally bid on the wrong one, and I ended up footing the bill for it.
But I would say the best find I have had all year was the WoW computer for seniors.
Also, your best thumbnail this year.
That was my favorite thumbnail to do. I'm just going to say this right. Oh, what's that?
I have a question about that after you go.
Oh, yeah. So I haven't announced this yet, but I just got to say, there is more of a story here. There will be a follow-up to this episode because there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, but wait for that. So stay tuned. Bruce.
So the question was, when last I asked you about this, I think it was during a chat when you were doing a live stream. I was asking about opening it up, and you said that you'd received a refund for it. So you were a little bit funny about opening it up. Are we talking spoilers here?
So this kind of goes into the spoiler territory, but I talked about this on Twitter a little bit, so I can say it. Here's the weird thing. They issued me a refund before I asked for a refund. Before I even published the episode. Before the episode is even live, they issued me a refund. So now I'm like, wait a minute. Does opening it void the warranty? If I actually need to ship it back? What if something
they won't know.
So, well, they probably won't, but this is what's building up for this follow-up episode. It's actually been going on for about 4 weeks now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so stay tuned. It's fun.
Oh, please tell me you open it up. Please tell me you open it up.
I don't want to say anything right now.
He wants to say it so bad.
Put it in the private chat. We'll see you there. That's all right. You can trust us. We won't tell anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
we promise.
So I'm going to type it in, and then you're going to like react, and then everybody's going to understand what answer.
All right, poker face, everybody.
But you don't know if or how or did he drop it off of a cliff to see what's inside? These are questions.
Let's talk after the show. We can
we'll do that. All right.
Yeah.
So, did I skip over anybody else from this topic, or can we move on? All right.
I think we can move on.
All right. Sweet. So next topic is going to be sort of a similar, for this year. what was the best piece of software that you discovered during this year? And is it something that was a retro thing or a new thing? Is it a paid or a freebie thing? I'm always looking for different pieces of software for new utilities and stuff like that. But so I'll have one or two to say. But I'm very curious about any of you guys, whether it's on the Mac or iOS or one of those things.
Sorbet.
Go.
Yeah, Sorbet Leopard.
Sorbet leopard.
Sorbet leopard.
Software package of the year, Sorbet Leopard.
All right. Any
And
other?
if it brings Mike out of hiding, it's got to be good.
He woke up.
I started using BB Edit for all of my coding. I was using something else before, and I started using BB Edit, and I really like it.
I am shocked
there-
that you were not on this already.
Isn't there
I mean,
a
it's been
video
around for a
like-
long time, but it's just an old habit. I was in an old habit of using a particular tool for a lot of my coding, and it was totally inappropriate. I mean, look, coding is text. You can code in it. You can code in text edit. I mean, that's all it is. You can code anything you want. What you get from a coding tool, you get shortcuts and quick ways of doing things, and file management and version control. Linking with version control and that sort of stuff. But I started using BB Edit this year, and I should have done it a long time ago.
Code and teach
All right.
text.
I already said Sorbet leopard, but the second one, and that's only because I can't remember anything else right now, is this StreamYard. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Technically not a piece of software.
Well,
but-
it runs somewhere.
If it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about Ecamm Live. That's the streaming software I use. I discovered that.
You
this
cannot
year.
piggyback off of my genius.
Yeah, sorry. Hey, that's what I do. That's what I do. I piggyback off your genius ideas. I've been doing
Actually,
it
I
since
think
I met
I
you.
think StreamYards was Bruce's idea to begin with, wasn't it?
No,
No, it was Dana and I found it.
Ah,
Well, Dana, I think.
Yeah.
A few of the people that we watched used it, and Dana and I were like, "Wait a second, their stuff good. Our stuff may be good."
We could do this, maybe.
Which way did he go, George? Yeah, so that was great though, because we were using Skype and OBS, and every time GT sneezed, the audio would screw up, and so.
Or some jackass.
If we had
put it
audio
all
to
together
begin with.
mode.
Yeah. I will tell you what, this made producing so much easier.
Yeah, you can fall asleep and nobody would notice.
non-existent.
So the freebie piece of software that I found, and this is something that most Mac users have this frustration, because for the longest time on Windows there was the ability to actually go into the little sound manager bar and per app set the volume of what you wanted. So you could have a game volume a little bit lower and your music volume a little bit louder, and so on and so forth. And especially working from home and having a lot of Zoom meetings and stuff like that, and people who don't know how to adjust their microphone, so they're like yelling really loud the entire meeting, and you're just like, oh god. You could lower the individual thing without having to lower the system volume. So the name of the application is called Background Music, and it's a free little utility. I'm going to put the link in the chat here, and there's a GitHub link there. You can download it for Mac OS. And it basically lets you set individual apps volume levels and actually record system audio, which is pretty cool. So there were a few paid versions of a similar tool that I used back in the PowerPC days. So it was really nice to find a freebie utility that basically does what I was looking to do, and that's to manage different audio levels. So if you have a video playing or a video conference call or whatever, you can adjust those volume levels without going crazy. So that's my little suggestion there.
That is the thing I like about Windows, that they do have that in there. But
Yeah.
it's cool that you can use third-party plugins and stuff.
Oh yeah. So, any other suggestions from any of you guys? Any
Well,
cool
I'll
things
say
to
mine is actually as a result of this very show, and actually I think Jay's original recommendation, Backblaze.
Yes.
Backblaze
Oh, yeah.
since the show where you brought that up, and absolutely love it. Don't have to think
Oh,
about
yeah.
it; just runs. Excellent.
Rudy just burned his mouth.
I think Rudy is allergic to backing up files. So
I did a sponsorship with Backblaze. I should do more sponsorships. with
yeah,
Backblaze.
so
Nice.
Backblaze, if you're listening, you have like 9 people who really love you, and yes, please freebie go thing handout. All right, that's my That's my spiel there.
Yeah,
Trust us, we're professionals.
Emblem somewhere's on here.
Yeah.
I ditched Time Machine for retrospect this year as well, so that was something, and that one has that one's been quite a good move. I know I've been talking about doing a video for that or doing a little piece on that on the Mac show, which I will do, but I just haven't yet. But that's been quite good. Been pretty happy with it.
Oh yes, Bruce hates the control strip, but I love it.
Yeah, control strip. The first thing I do is piss it off. Go on.
Me too.
All right. So, any other suggestions for software or anything that you discovered this year before we move on? All right. So this is I think
strip or control strip.
Well, control strip.
Okay. I didn't know it was an extension strip.
This is going to be interesting to talk about. So, what failures or mishaps have occurred this year that were very notable? Now, people think of like failure as, oh my gosh, why did you do that, or why'd you blah blah blah, whatever. But as part of tinkering around with this stuff, things aren't going to work all the time. You're gonna hit a brick wall when you're trying to work on something like a Quadra 840 AP or something that just doesn't want to work, and you're gonna hit your head against your desk and go and it's still not going to work. But we can all learn from each other's mistakes or failures or whatever you want to call them. And mine is obviously trying to fix some of the stuff that I have that is very reluctant to be fixed, or just during the course of creating content, figuring out what works for myself and the people who watch the channel and what doesn't, and dropping tools on priceless LCD screens and so on and so forth. So I'd love to hear some other people chime in to make me not feel as terrible for breaking things.
None. I don't have any. Everything I did was successful.
Eventually.
Well, except my 2400C, which worked fine, but had a battery leak, and then I took it apart, took the battery out, put it back together. Didn't work anymore.
I think we need to perform a ritual. I'm going to bring my box of parts to your place, and we'll just chant some things on it. The cat will jump in the box, something will happen, and then they'll work again. Who knows?
Well, I did learn a valuable lesson from it, though. Sometimes old computers just die.
I think somebody did a video about that. This guy over here.
Oh, and it was a collab with the 8-bit guy and Bruce.
Yeah. And I tried to before I had
why do computers die?
Yeah, that's a great video. If anybody has not seen Ken's video, why computers die, I chimed in a little bit, and then Bruce is like, "Steve, I know exactly what you're talking about. Get the hell out of here." And Bruce helped for the rest of it.
You had to get to that.
I had to go to my wife's birthday dinner. She was not too happy. I was spending the time talking to Ken on the phone, and I can laugh about it now because she's not watching. But but let's hear more things about how things have exploded. I know Mike had some interesting fan noises with his G4. Dana, do you want to try and replicate that noise? Oh God!
And when the funny thing is,
that was only a slight fail.
What it really sounds like. That is not far off.
No, not really. That's about what it sounded like.
When Jay joined the stream, Mike made that sound, and it sounded just like the computer did. It was a horrendous noise.
Oh gosh! So Ken, because you've had quite a spectacular boom happen on your channel with a particular tower. Do you want to explain sort of the fun behind that, and maybe if we'll get to hear any more updates on that machine anytime soon?
Yes, you read my mind, Mr. Steve. So yes, I was actually talking about this a little while ago at Vintage Computer Festival Midwest on the panel with LGR and 8-Bit Guy. But yes, one of my more famous fails is the liquid-cooled Power Mac G5 that I plugged in without knowing it was liquid-cooled, and it just bang, totally explodes. But thanks to Grudy's magic and his truck somehow getting him out here safely. We actually, I won't spoil it, but we collabed and we are making an epic follow-up episode. It'll be the last Computer Clan episode of the year. So on December 30th, there will be a follow-up to that computer exploding.
Oh,
so tune in.
I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
bigger
It's
I'm
gonna be good.
excited about it.
A bigger explosion.
Yeah, it just blows up again.
Like a Looney Tune sized barrel of TNT right next to it.
Yeah,
Cold
anybody that
G5
hasn't seen
part
it,
2.
you want to plug the video link to that one?
Oh yeah, let me pull up that episode now. For context, if anyone's asking why my face isn't in it, this is an older episode before I showed my face, so like that's why you don't see my head. But we are following up on it.
The explosion made Ken rethink his life, and
yes, it was. I've rethought my life about how to plug things in and check for liquid.
an enlightening experience. There you go.
Especially if it's GM Dexcool, which is conductive and corrosive and doesn't evaporate.
Yeah. Let's put that into an electronic box.
Yeah, let's put the pump right above the power supply. Let's do that.
Yeah. He came close to dying in that video.
Oh boy. Well, I was just so lucky because when I got one of those machines, Ken, it was, I believe, after that occurred to you. And so I got one and it had leaked, but I didn't know so. And I was video chatting with the guys. It's when I had still had a desk behind me. And I was like, I'm just going to plug it in. Jay's like, no. I'm like, okay. And opened it up, and it leaked like a bunch.
Yeah.
But thank you very much, JD Robot, for the super.
Thank you.
Hey.
Smoke tests. We've all had reefers explode, especially Mike and his Mac Plus, which scared
I have
me.
not.
Not yet. You're going to be
just
playing around with
jinxed
those beige Mac 2s, and you'll get bitten eventually. Yep.
Well, Bruce had a tantalum explode in his face.
That's
I
right.
did. I did. I was
That's
just
a great video.
hunting
And it
to
was
try
live
and find that
with Jay and
video
I
that I
watching.
made. See if I could actually dig that up and
Jay,
show it
hold
on the
it.
show, because I've got it here somewhere. I'll try and find it, and then we can put it on a little bit later. But
Jay has it. He's got it.
yeah, no, I did a better one. So
Well,
I
that's
need
true.
to find the better
I
one.
have 589 items on my desktop. There's no way I'm going to find it before the show is over.
You know exactly.
But
where
there
it
were other than a tantum blowing up and actually sparks in the face and flames. there was another thing that happened this year, and interestingly enough, this happened to me once before in 1991. So it's 30 years since this has happened. And in 1991, I was doing a RAM upgrade on a Macintosh SE, and my careless little hands bumped the little controller on the back of the CRT and snapped the little glass nipple and wrecked the CRT. And I did it again this year. The difference was I had the computer on the ground. And it was sort of in between sort of repairs. So I'd put it down on the ground while I was working on something else. And then I knocked something off the table and it just landed exactly on that spot, just came down and sheared it off. And I was just standing there. It was only a lightest tap. And then I just heard that.
Yeah.
Oh. So, okay. Yeah. Once every 30 years.
That's exactly how I felt with the Macintosh Portable. It was like the thing that fell was in the perfect spot. Did go in the dead center of the screen, just go. That was excellent. It's amazing because if you wanted that to happen, you could not make it happen. But.
No, this is true. This is true. All right, I'm going to try and find this video.
All right. So while he does
I
that,
found the original, but I don't think that's PG.
the original has some colorful language.
Well, yeah, because
A lot.
because Jay and I were sitting there watching this live, and all of a sudden we hear pop and it was like
It was glorious.
we laughed so hard. I don't know.
Yeah, I missed out on that one. But I'm so glad it was recorded for posterity. But. So did I skip over anybody else who wants to talk about things going?
Yeah,
boom?
me. But
All right, Jay.
I don't fail. You know?
Well, I don't think it was this year, but the
exactly
previous
this year. This year.
previous
we are
year-
talking about this year.
The previous year, Jay did not think that the ground cables inside of a CRT were important to reconnect before testing. And so, he plugged them back in, one or two of them, and left the rest of them just to dangle in the
There were
wind.
just too many of them.
When he plugged that thing in,
I didn't film enough this year to have a fiasco.
no, your car is
Oh
the
yeah,
fiasco.
you are limited to
No.
one car because we do
Yeah.
not have time for all of
Yeah,
them.
no.
And it's a truck, but yeah.
No, it's not only
wait,
a truck.
it's an actual truck? Oh, wow. We're all shocked.
There was a car involved in a ditch too. Remember?
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
I forgot.
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
hard to forget.
Oh,
You were
yeah.
upside down. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Really expensive.
It rattled his brain a little bit. He can't remember.
Yeah. He
Well,
wrapped
if
his
anybody-
bridge around the tree.
If anybody wants to see me get scared like a 3-year-old child being, thrown into a gorilla pit, just watch Mike's Mac Shack's video about his Macintosh Plus reefer cap exploding, because I'm just sitting there and I happen to position the camera directly at the Mac like 5 seconds before the reefer cap goes, and it doesn't just pop; it pops and then sizzles. So I didn't even understand that the reefer cap had blown. And we were just talking about the reef cap blowing like 30 seconds before this happened. And it just starts going. And I'm like, oh! And I just stood up and ran off.
Steve can move quick when he wants.
Yes. Scared about half of his cats in the process.
By the way, I just uploaded a couple clips to our messages group chat that
Oh,
we were
boy.
just talking about. So there you go.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, let's move along,
If
shall
you
we? We
wanted
have,
to add them later.
we have a bit more to cover. Now, we do have quite a lot left in the show, so I'm going to nonchalantly check the group chat here. Okay. And we're going to go to our Eep Quack. And so
Ooh.
the whole purpose of this game here is that you either Eep if you have done something, or you quack if you have not done something. So we're going to read off a thing, participate in the chat. We'll all participate here, but you got to give it your best Eep, and you're as best as you can, and we'll go from there. So
Steve, remind me, when did we start, or when did you guys start doing this? on
oh
the show?
God, ages ago, so
Wait,
long ago. I can't remember.
It hasn't been long enough to not
I don't
explain
remember-
it every single time.
I guess I just don't remember doing it.
No,
ever.
yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
within the last year or so.
Yeah,
I think
it's
a
been
fairly new
about
addition.
probably 30, 40 episodes maybe we've been doing it.
At least, yeah.
It's like, how do we blow the last 10 minutes of the show?
Yeah,
I do like it. I just don't think I've ever participated live, so this will be fun.
Ah, see
Oh.
now.
Yeah.
A virgin. Well, let's do this.
this concludes the PG-13 version of the show. All right, so I'll read off the first one, and then we'll have Unwitting Souls do the next. So the first one comes from RetroTechie. Have you ever purchased a Mac which was infested with insects, mold, or other types of grossness? Eep!
Ape.
Eep.
Eep.
All right, and
Eep,
Grudy,
quack.
please don't
Quack,
eep while you
quack.
talk.
Eep.
Eep.
So mine
Not a
wasn't. Oh, not a Mac. All right. Well, mine wasn't too bad. Mine was this 4400, where the hard drive was actually named Mold Mac. And I booted it up, and I'm like, why is it named Mold Mac? And then when I opened it up, the fan has like a nice, speckling
The
of
fan
dust
was
around
furry.
it. The fan was furry.
Yeah.
And that's why it's kind of sitting here. There's a lot of the insides that aren't there, but you can't really tell because it's on the shelf. Spoiler alert. But yeah, it's a bit moldy, so not fun.
I buy them on purpose. Mostly
buy
the
them on
logic boards.
Yeah.
So you
that's,
can practice on them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay.
I'm
So,
sure you have not seen my live stream where I bought the
I
most
mean-
horrendously corroded board I could find
Yeah,
off
I've seen
eBay to fix it up. That's fun, but it has
I was
mold
just
too.
making sure you weren't collecting them,
Oh, he is.
because
I am.
that could be bad
Yeah.
for your health.
Well,
No,
did you
he's
ever
fine.
see Jay's restoration of a CMP case that
Of course
was like
he hasn't.
underwater?
Have you ever seen Jay's restoration of a puck mouse?
Yes. That was the most boring video on the internet.
That was the most tantalizing 45 minutes of my life.
ASMR.
Well, we're getting a lot of eeps in the chat, so at least we are not alone with
We're not
carrying
alone.
home
Yeah.
crazy vintage stuff that happens to have things infested inside.
I mean, I've gotten one with
Definitely.
like a couple of bugs in it, but never like infested or
Well,
Yeah,
I'll tell
thankfully.
you.
mouse crap.
I'll tell you what. I think I could probably beat all of you guys.
all right, here we go.
Uh-oh.
So I did. This was a couple years ago. I did a clean out of a semi-abandoned house, and I got a PlayStation 3, among other things, out of this house. Well, as you walk through the house, the only thing that you hear, because there's no power on, is crunch, 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 because of all the cockroaches.
Oh.
So I loaded all this stuff in the back of my pickup in the bed of my truck because there's no way in holy hell this thing's going anywhere inside anything.
Yeah.
I took it all the way to my garage. I was still working for my stepdad. And I took the TVs apart, and amazingly, there was nothing inside the televisions. Matter of fact, I still use one of them in my bedroom to this day. The PlayStation 3, on the other hand, another story.
Oh,
Yeah.
I spent 3 hours
It was literally a roach motel.
dismantling the PlayStation 3 and blowing every single bug out of the thing. That was the most disgusting, nastiest thing I've ever seen in my life. And to this day, whenever I turn that thing on after it's been sitting for a while, it still smells like roach piss.
I would throw it out the window. Oh my Lord.
Time to get an ultrasonic
It's like-
cleaner.
I was just going to say,
This is
Yeah.
one there's actually one reason I don't use it that much.
oh, that's
Once like my G3, my G3 blue and white that was actually in Ken's video.
Oh yeah.
It was full of like mouse pee,
lovely.
like lots of mouse pee and acorns and mouse poop.
PlayStation.
And I literally had to pull it apart. Yeah, it's a good one.
But none of you have any proof of this. Now, Steve has a collection of small trays with various insects on his desk behind him.
Oh, I didn't let that spider out.
I know you.
videos on
I knew
it.
you didn't forget.
That poor guy. I'm sure he's
Bruce's
fine.
house now.
Bruce's house.
He's fine.
He's fine. But yeah, I had a friend that I still have a friend who runs a video game store here locally, and he would tell me horror stories of similar to Mike, like a PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3 or something, because they get warm and they have vents and things go in there and they can't easily get out. And he made the mistake one very early on. His store was like spotless. He had just opened and he brought in something. A customer brought something in for a trade. And he said, "Does it turn on?" They said, "Oh, okay, yeah." And he was new, so he's like, "Yeah, just leave it by the corner." And they noticed, they started getting bugs and stuff, and it was very odd. And then he plugged it in, and it didn't work. And he opened it up, and so that taught him a quick lesson of not to do that anymore. So if you get anything from a suspicious place, whether it's a yard sale or a thrift store or whatever, it doesn't hurt to open it up outside or in like the garage or something, just to make sure you're not getting any little critters inside of your home, because that's the last thing you want.
Yeah.
I've had a few questionable computers that I've opened them up and found some kind of funky stuff inside. I generally just put those straight into the ultrasonic cleaner. I don't ask questions. I don't want to know. But yeah, you look at things and you think, okay, this is inside a MacBook Pro. What is that stuff? I mean, and how did it get there?
Yeah.
But
I once bought an Xbox 360 from a high school friend that
Enough
was
said.
full of weed.
You sure know how to pick them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you sell it
took
at a
lot of
profit?
cleaning.
All right, so who wants to read the next quack?
just before we do, can I just very quickly interject with this? Just hearing it chime will be satisfying enough for me. Oh, what the? Did you see that?
Oh God!
Obviously, dubbed with the language was dubbed with.
No,
other
Bruce got
language,
so scared he just farted out his curses.
He just
I think
sharked
Ken's
himself.
losing it right now.
This is hilarious.
See, we've all seen that like 50 times. And
Hey, that's better than Ken's reaction.
as funny as it is with the fart sounds, the actual audio is just
It's
I'll
classic.
fall out of this chair if you play that.
I do occasionally do. I haven't done one in a while, but I do occasionally do unlisted live streams where I just let the language fly, and that was one of them. So
And fly it does.
yeah, just like those sparks. Oh my goodness! All right, so Bruce, you want to read the next
Yes.
quack?
I will read the next eat quack. It is. Sorry, it's a bit of. Hang on. Oh, that's awful, isn't it?
The actual eep quacks.
Okay. Am I really reading this?
No.
I can do it if you want.
I'm really
thing.
curious now.
Have you ever been run over by a 2005 Chevy? Did we do this one?
No.
Yeah.
Have you ever been run over by a 2005 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD crew cab long bed and lived to show the video?
Quack.
Quack.
Don't remember.
And Mike is the eeping bastard.
Yeah. We've seen this video.
If that's pointing towards me, mine's a 2004.
No, again,
Not
Grudy.
the same.
And the sad thing
Exactly.
is when my stepdad picked me up off the ground, I was laughing just like this.
So there's
Oh
a video.
yeah, Mike's video. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great video.
Go to Mike's Mac Shack and just scroll back to I think it's like my
The
very
second or third
earliest
video.
video.
Yeah.
It's from 2012, where my stepdad ran me over with his full-size pickup truck.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, he just freaking plowed into me, backed right into me.
Boom.
And he runs out to the back. I've never seen the man move so fast in my life.
Oh my gosh, what the?
All right, I'm gonna put this on this. I'm gonna put this on the screen. It has to be shared.
Kids' reaction.
Can we play it here?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it right
yeah.
now. Hold on, let me
All
click
right.
share.
I love the
We can't-
title.
we can't
I
get
love the
sound,
title
though.
of the video.
Yeah, we can't.
There
There's no sound.
is no sound.
There's no sound
anyway.
No sound needed. But here you go, guys.
Because it's like a
Here's
security
what we're
camera, right?
giggling at and referring to. So we'll add this here.
Gee. Okay.
Huh.
Do we have to move? Oh wait, here we go. Yeah.
It's lunchtime. Let me go get a snack at Subway. La 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 la.
Get a Mystery Science Theater. Riff it.
What's that sound?
Dude!
It's like,
We
where
only
was he
laughed
going?
because he was fine.
Guys, also,
Where was he
I
even
have
going?
never seen that old guy move as fast as I did that day. I swear to God.
And Mike has lived to tell about it.
Yeah,
I
did Mike
and I can
survive?
tell you right now, he picked me up off the ground. I was laughing just as hard.
So next time Mike has a live stream, look closely. There's still a tire mark on his face. Over here.
Hey, you got to give Mike a little slack. He's been through a lot.
I have literally been run over. I've literally been run over by a truck. Okay. When I say I feel like I've been hit by a truck, then I've been hit by a truck. Oh my God.
Oh God, I haven't seen that in ages. That was a
Did
good
anyone
one.
else eat that?
I hope
I
not.
would sure as hell not.
I'll read the next one.
Yes, please. Save
All
us.
right. Next one. Have you ever had your Chevy Silverado break down on more than 3 occasions on the same trip?
Oh, jeez.
Quack.
Quack.
I did 3 occasions.
All right, just eep and get
It's
this
been
over
about
with.
3 times each time. So more than 3, no.
Oh, all right, never mind.
I was talking about the last trip you had, you jerk.
I only broke down 3 times.
That's what it says.
What it says.
It said more than 3.
All right, shut up. We'll do the next one. Eep or quack, have you ever cleaned your cellar and realized you have way more graphite max than a normal person would ever need?
Black.
Yeah.
I actually do have more graphite max.
I'm like,
than
Oh God, this is just packed with a bunch of them. Usually we have like 2 or 3. My
Well,
goodness.
let's see. Let me count. I have 3 Quicksilvers. I have 2 Sawtooths, 2 Cubes.
Quicksilver's
What else
not
counts?
graphite.
Quicksilver doesn't count.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It's graphite.
No, it
No, it
doesn't.
doesn't. It's not
That's
graphite.
silver. It's not graphite.
It's silver. That's why they call it the
Oh.
Quicksilver.
This will be a 45-minute discussion. So let's
Okay,
move it
next.
along here. Mike,
Have
do
you,
you want to?
have you ever had a tantalum capacitor explode in your face?
All right,
Quack.
Eep.
quack.
Quack.
Not a reefa, a tantalum.
Quack.
Beep.
All right. These are just super targeted to us.
Oh yeah.
I don't
I'll
know
just
who
go-
put them in.
I'll go through them very quickly. Have you ever spent more than 5 minutes cleaning a puck mouse and actually filmed it in
Quack.
real time? Quack.
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 No, don't lie there, Jay.
Have you ever set up a YouTube channel to show yourself doing stuff and never actually do? Eat.
I made one.
Made one.
Just out of curiosity, did nobody read the show notes?
Oh, I did.
I didn't read that far down.
I
No.
scrolled down and I noticed things were added in real time. And
I
then,
was out doing Christmas shopping before the show. I haven't seen it.
have you ever had to turn your computer upside down to make it work at a computer show?
Oh, I played the fifth on that one.
Quack.
I'm going to say quack, but I
I've
want
done
to
it
hear the
before, not
story
on
of
a
this
computer
one.
show.
If you ever saw Sean's video from VCF East or my video from VCF East, it explains exactly the shenanigans that happened to Sean's poor little Bekatosh clone.
But you have
Well,
to tell us there now.
Yeah, let us.
It wasn't my fault, but it was running Tiger. You know, it has a G4 upgrade in this old beige 604E clone. And I thought, maybe I'll try to install Leopard on it at the show. And of course, that didn't work. And then it stopped reading the video card and it stopped working entirely. So in order to get to the video card, I had to open the bottom. So I just ran it upside down so I could pull the video card out, put it back in. And it was mostly working by the end of the show.
Yeah, that was a fun one because I just happened to bring a video card with me, and thankfully,
Right, yeah.
we got that sort of working again before you tripped over the power surge strip and back to square one.
Yeah, I had it all back, ready to go, and I tripped over the power cord. I had to do it all over again.
Because it had a PRAM battery that didn't have any juice left in it, so it would forget everything the second it was unplugged. Oh boy! And I don't think the last one have we either of us plugged in a Mac only to have it explode in our face. Quack? I don't think anybody. Oh, Bruce.
Yeah.
Explain.
Oh, yeah. I've had plenty of computers explode in my
I have
face.
too.
I know
too.
Mike has
Mostly
too.
MDDs.
All right.
I have video to prove it. Scared
Yeah.
the shit out of Steve too.
Yes, we talked about that previously. That's
But that one was more targeted to Ken.
But see, I was thinking like an actual like explosion of the machine, not just a little component. Maybe I was setting my
I had a
sights
quick
too
sell
low.
sent
That's a little
lot
No,
of
Michael
then I
that
probably
long
would have
ones.
put that. Then I probably would. Have you ever had a Mac go thermonuclear on you as soon as you plugged it in?
Eep.
Yeah, all right.
Oh God!
Well, we are devolving quickly, but
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we started
quickly.
evolving 90 minutes ago.
That
That
suggests
was-
we were involved to begin with.
that was a very much longer Eep Quack than we've ever done before. So that was an extra
yeah.
super holiday edition or whatever the heck we're calling
Yes.
it. But my goodness. But so we're getting close to the end of the show here because Dave's Vintage Apple Tech is in the chat, which always tells us we have.
He was here at the beginning.
He's been here the whole
Yeah,
time.
he's always in
Don't
the chat.
tell anybody. But
Well, we should have
so
stopped an hour and a half ago.
it would have been a really great show. So
Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.
yeah, bye everybody. So we had some great guests here on today. So we're gonna go around and just say what we're gonna be doing next. If there's a video that we're gonna look out for from one of our famous peoples on the show, and that includes all of us. And so we're gonna start with I guess Sean because he's full and center there. There we go. And so Sean, are you doing anything exciting this weekend or next weekend or anything like that in your upcoming channel or something? No. Okay.
No, yes, I actually. Well, so I'm playing with Linux. I have a video coming out on Christmas Day, Saturday, where I may show my face a little bit as a little experiment
Hell is freezing over.
because it's an otherwise boring video where I install Linux on an old machine and just walk you through it. So I had to entice you to come into the video a little bit and
Using some of that clickbait sprinkled
a
on
face
there.
in there. Yeah.
But you can't say it's your first time ever showing your face, see?
On his channel.
True.
On
I mean,
his
if you've been
channel,
around the channel for a long time, back when nobody watched it, I did show my face back
Actually,
then.
I think I was.
And do you want to? I mean, there's been rumors flying around viciously. Do you want to explain to the people why you normally didn't see your face in those videos?
Yeah. Well, so in the house I lived in before this house, the room that I shot the videos in was literally too small to get my face in frame with the computer because I bought pretty much the wrong lens for my camera because I still have no idea what I'm doing, right? I'm just winging it.
You're doing a pretty damn good job of that.
Welcome to Action
Yeah, so
Retro.
So instead of just a static shot of the computer, I started waving my arms around, and the rest is history.
Excellent. All right, and so our next esteemed guest is Dan. No, wait, it's Ken. Dan had to go; his planet needed him. But Crazy Ken here of the Computer Clan was gracious enough to sit through our tomfoolery for an hour and a half. What do you have coming up that you're excited about?
So like I teased earlier, Grudy and I, it's so weird for me to call him that because I never call him that, but I need to say that because I'm on Yak. Grudy and I are doing that collab Power Mac G5 Explosion follow-up episode. That'll be on December 30th. That is the final episode for the year on the Computer Clan. So we're literally going out with a bang for the end of the year here.
Or maybe a reverse bang.
Definitely going out in a bag.
This episode was seriously the most fun I've ever had shooting a Crazy Ken's Tech Misadventures episode. It was hilarious. It was educational. Like
you said that when I was there.
Educational.
Can I ask one question?
Sure.
Was there blood?
You could let the man finish first.
I kicked my foot on like one of the like radiator.
Not your blood.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember if I hurt myself or not in that one.
I don't know.
You probably
That
didn't.
wouldn't have to be because it's a Ken video, not a Red K Mods video.
It's true.
It's true. I don't show blood in my show. Not that I've ever needed to like not show it. It's just never.
Oh yeah, I think I did hurt myself at some point in there. I don't remember why I did that.
Yeah, it was when you were going to the bathroom. I think that's the layer of toilet paper is made out of concrete and granite. But you get what you get.
God.
But that sounds exciting, Ken.
It's gonna be great. Oh yeah.
All right. So we'll move on to Grudy because he's bleeding. He has to go.
Bleeding and I have to go. Where'd this come from?
I don't know. Go.
Well, you can't eat a pizza without injuring yourself. It's not a far
That's
stretch.
true. I fried the crap out of my mouth eating that thing.
I know.
Why?
I sent you a video of it.
Oh,
Did
dude,
you?
I want to see.
Yeah, it's in the group chat.
Yeah, we could hear you also.
Is
So
it?
How about you pay
nice,
attention?
yes.
Pay attention to the podcast and actually explain.
Oh
what
yeah,
you're-
the podcast, right?
Oh my goodness. Amateur. All right, Greg Thompson.
It's not even loading.
Go. I'm muting Grudy. Greg Thompson, what are you working on?
Well, Grudy's still big, so this week I don't have anything planned, but I do have a new microphone stand and microphone, which Grudy, see,
Is it a
this is
stand
something
or
you
a
need.
hang? Technically, it's a hang, right? Not a stand.
Well, yeah, it's an arm.
An arm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, microphone arm.
Articulated arm.
Yes,
And
I just
you
picked that
sound
up
bloody
today.
good tonight.
So I am getting better at my audio quality. It only took me 150 episodes to get it, so
That's great.
All right, Grudy, you could talk now.
I honestly don't remember what I was saying.
Excellent. All right, Mike,
And
what are
mute
you
him
working
again.
on?
Hey, wait.
So I recently did a video. It's my very first product review, and it's for a digital multimedia, a budget digital multimedia called the Kaiweets KM601.
A co-ed multimeter? What?
What?
I'm going to try it again. I just recently did my very first product review for a Kaiweets KM601 digital multimeter. It's budget model, and if you want to know what I thought of it, jump onto my channel, have a look at the video, and see for yourself. So that was, as I say, very first product review video I've ever done. So it was
Nice.
a big moment. And I will definitely be live streaming. I've got some days off in the coming days, and so I will definitely be doing some live streams during that.
Excellent. All right, Grudy, I'm giving you one last chance.
Well, I'm working right now on restoring my multi-Mac. I'm going to do a video of it actually running newer OSs than Mojave. My multi-Mac's the mid-2007 iMac with the CPU upgrade. I'm also doing some other things like
Eating pizza.
I'm going to eventually, eating pizza. I'm going to eventually do the video on this. Probably, I'm hoping before the end of the year. I've got another week and a half.
That's 7 days.
Yeah, 7 days. And I'm doing a few other things, it's about it.
All right, excellent. That's passable. All right, Mike, what are you working on? Oh, Jay, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I started saying a name and then Jay popped up, so it's Jay time.
It's Jay doing those words again.
I have many plans, and I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to coast out the rest of the year watching other people do stuff.
Can you,
Except
for
for Dana,
goodness sake, get one of those Macs on eBay, please?
Not with the disclaimer I just made, no.
I'm just going to have to go there and buy them all. That's going to be what happens.
Or that.
Or that. All right, Dana, you have been summoned.
What's the question?
It doesn't apply to you anyway. So it
All right,
doesn't matter.
Grudy. I got family stuff going on. That's
you actually have to
Pretty
do
much
stuff.
All right, so Mike on screen, go now.
There's a reason I went last, okay? So, I have big plans, unlike you hosers.
You have big volume.
Yeah, stop yelling. Our ears hurt.
Jesus.
You will live.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So, this weekend, on Sunday, at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, we are going to have an Unreal Tournament 2004 free-for-all. Jay is going to host it on his Mac Pro. He has upped the number of players from 16 to 32 because apparently 16 just doesn't even phase his Mac Pro.
Yeah.
I'm doing this, by the way.
So we had plenty of shits last night, and the processors weren't even breathing hard. So therefore, now the count has been raised to 32. And as far as I know, everybody here is going to participate, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
We
Maybe.
should try to get Ken in it. Ken?
I
Come on,
insert non-committal here.
Ken will have his people do it.
Sure, I'll definitely maybe be there.
My people.
Okay,
He'll
so
just set up a Mac to spectate. That's all.
So what I'm going to do is it is going to be streamed. It is not going to be PG. Trust me. This is going to be an NC-17 rated stream for language and violence and blood and gore and probably multiple other things, at least by U.S. ratings. So therefore, it's going to be streamed on probably my channel and someone else's channel, probably.
Mike, I am a complete angel when I'm playing Unreal Tournament. There's no bad language that comes out of my mouth.
Whatever.
I have a question for you, Mike.
Steve, you come up with words that would make George Carlin blush.
When will we be getting to see a part 2 of Return to Castle Wolfenstein? I enjoyed part 1 immensely.
Oh yeah, that was
Tuesday.
fun.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday. I'm doing it again Tuesday.
Oh, excellent.
Yay.
So, anyway, at the bottom of the screen, scrolling across, is a email address and a iMessage number. Anybody who wishes to participate, please contact me by Saturday, which is Christmas, so that we can get you set up and give you the information you need to join us.
Yay.
So I will be streaming it. I'm going to be playing on my iMac behind me. I'm going to be streaming it on my Dell because that's the best computer I have for streaming things, unfortunately. And so hopefully this is going to be our Christmas. This will be our Christmas kick ass and take name stream.
blow up each other's stream. Yeah.
You are
Yes.
totally upstaged by Prada on the back of your chair.
I know.
But
He's a diva.
isn't it technically an after Christmas stream?
Well, actually, it was initially supposed to be for tomorrow, but because of people having family plans, because of being Christmas Eve, whatever, we decided to do it after Christmas. So
Not for me. For me, it's during Christmas.
whatever.
What?
You
It's
people
true.
and your damn Christmas. You know what?
Anyway.
I'm tired of
have 2
listening to
days
you
of
guys and your
Christmas.
damn Christmas.
It's not my fault.
Oh, you
Oh
just
my
feel
gosh.
you feel the love in this room right now.
Now, you want to feel some love? Then make sure you watch that stream on Sunday.
Oh yeah, we're all gonna be.
Oh.
We have so much love for each other that we're just gonna
So
yell at
much
each other.
loving going on.
I love you so much, Jay, with your loving gun and. All right. So speaking of love, we love our ancient Macintosh computers. The Power
By the
PC
way,
Challenge-
Steve,
What?
I like your shirt.
God. All right, so the Power PC Challenge is something that we put on every January, and so there's a laundry list of requirements and things that we'll get into. But there is a thread on TinkerDifferent.com, which is an
I have just
excellent
added the link.
website, and Bruce has just put the link into the chat. And so click on that link and you'll find out everything that you need to know about the Power PC Challenge. It basically sounds like what it sounds like. It is what it is. The duck's a duck. This thing is you playing around with your Power PC Macs and challenging yourself to actually use them in a real world environment. You know, you don't want to get fired from your job or anything, or maybe you do, but you want to try and use these machines in the modern era and see what you can do. So it's a lot of fun. We usually do it for a few days and you blog about it. You explain what you've been doing, what you ran into. 2 weeks. Bruce has given me some hand signals. If Grudy just flipped me off, but we're all good here. So subscribe to the Power PC. What am I saying? Go to the Tinker Different website. After an hour and a half, the words don't come out anymore. Go to the
I
Tinker
wasn't
Different
monetized until I was.
website. Oh God! Do the Power PC Challenge, make us proud, and yeah, that's about it. So I appreciate all of our guests hanging in there for the past hour and a half. If you want
Regretting every second of it.
regretting every second of it. If you do want more of this insanity, we do have a Discord channel. Check out the Discord link that's there. And you could also visit us on mac-yak.com. There's a bunch of content on there. And there's previous blog posts about the Power PC Challenge. So if you have no idea what the heck I was talking about, you could go there and you could figure it out. But I'd like to thank Ken and Sean and Dan and everybody for tuning in. I've been laughing way too hard, and I think that was an excellent time that we all had. So thank you very much for joining, and we'll see
Hooray,
you next
150.
year. Yay!
Yes, and
150.
happy holidays.
150, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that stuff, and go put lights and RGB stuff on your Macs. And make them happy.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.
Plutonium.
Light.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Justin.
Merry Christmas.